You guys a synopsis of finding out I was pregnant with Hunter. So I found out I was pregnant with her April 2004. And when I was 11 weeks, I started bleeding. I'm like, oh my God. So I thought I miscarried. So her dad rushed me to the hospital. And when we got there, I had the ultrasound done. And the lady's like, oh, everything's fine. The baby's intact. The only thing that we're taking a look at now is that we see sort of a shadow on the head, but that's not really much of a concern. We see that all the time at this age because it's so small that certain things shows up as shadows, but we do see a spot. What we would like to do is have you follow up with a high-risk pregnancy doctor, and that'll be when you're 18 weeks. So you're a little bit further along and the head is much bigger in size from where it is now. So I'm like, okay, go to the 18-week appointment. And as soon as I got in the room, it was a monitor over in the corner, and the nurse started the ultrasound, and I kept seeing her every time she passed by the head. I would see a dark spot. I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, okay, if I have an untrained eye and I can see a dark spot, and I just kept thinking in the back of my head what the previous doctor had told me. So at this point, my heart sunk, and I felt it in my gut that something wasn't right. So the nurse is taking more and more pictures of just the head area. She has stopped taking pictures of all the other parts of the body, but she just stayed near the head. So finally I looked over to her and I'm like, what's wrong with the baby? And she was like, what do you mean? As far as pictures go, I'm going to give it to the doctor. I'm like, no. I was like, I keep seeing that dark spot. What's that dark spot? And she was like, oh, I'm going to have the doctor come in. We always take lots of pictures for each patient so that he has a lot to look at. Looking back at it now, I should have known like something was wrong when she said it. But I was like, okay, maybe everything's okay. She's not saying anything. The doctor comes in. He's immediately the rudest person I've ever encountered. Fast forward, he's confirmed that the dark spot meant something was wrong, and he basically went straight into, he gave me the wrong diagnosis, by the way, which I didn't find out till later, but he went right into, you need to hurry up and sign papers because legally we can only abort the baby until up to 24 weeks. No options, abort. That was my option, abort. I'm thinking like, who even told him I would do that? So my thought process was, if something's wrong and she's not going to make it gestational, because he's like, yeah, she's probably not going to make it to the end of the pregnancy, then why would I abort? Why would I have to expedite it? Fast forward, obviously I didn't abort because I'm telling you the story about her now. But he was like, if you don't abort and she does survive, basically she would have been something like a vegetable, or he just kept emphasizing how hard it would be to raise her. Yeah, thing is, it's hard to raise any kid. So anyway, that's the start of Hunter